I don't know what to do in this scenario. This is very unfortunate. I do apologize. This isn't covered in my insurance, so good luck and have fun paying all the medical bills, I guess. Hello there. My name is Uni, and welcome back to my 1.19 Let's Play series. This is episode 30 today, and we are standing inside of my long forgotten amber waves of grain, and I don't know why. I thought that this would be pretty cool. It looked nice and wavy. I updated my resource pack here, so now things look like that. And then the water as well, you can see waves in resonance with the amber waves. Yes. But today, I've decided that I really want to lean into mega builds this year. And I want to make sure that I put a lot of effort into what I'm making, and so that you guys can enjoy it the most. Every episode's going to have a time lapse. No slacking on that. That is my hope, not a promise, because maybe one day I'll forget. But if you look down here, you'll see that we have a bit of a carved out situation going on here with, look at all these nice and neat rows of torches. Oh my God, I love seeing all the torches just lined up in perfect little rows. And I know that in most cases, you don't actually need the torches this far apart anymore. I think they're apart by 4 blocks. And that's because of the whole, mob spawning thing, but I just like spamming them like crazy just to make sure that nothing does spawn, because we have a huge time lapse to do here. If you notice, this is kind of taking the shape of a building. Now, what exactly am I building next to the ocean here? And why is this river so close by? Well, from episode 1, I believe we made this a long time ago, and I never really had a purpose for this river. But now I've diverted it over here, and we've got it stopped here, and it's kind of going to continue right there. And the reason is we are going to build a sawmill. And I have been working tirelessly on this. I had a little bit of time off work during winter break, so I designed it in a creative world, and now I'm going to gather all the resources and build it for you guys to see right here. But you know what? I think it's about time we get started on this time lapse here, because guess what? We have 2 time lapses to do this episode, and this one right here is very special because it's going to be the entire building all in one go, and we have quite a lot of work ahead of us. So let's go ahead and get started. You know what? On a scale of 1 to proud, I am very proud of this build here. Oh my God. Let me get a good angle. Look at that. Oh, wow. It's so cool. And look at these huge doors that open up and you can go and walk inside. Oh my God. Oh, I'm over the moon. This is great. Jeez Louise. Okay. Hold on. I just love looking at this thing and then walking back and getting a bigger look. Whoa, yeah. And guess what? This right here, remember what I mentioned previously before the time lapse, was going to be a water wheel, and we have the waterway coming down in the front here, and the big doors that are opening. It's going to actually go right in here, and there's going to be like a little pulley system that I'll explain later. And on the other side here, we're going to have storage. We're going to have the actual logs going right here. In fact, let me go ahead and get some scaffolding so I can hop on up here. Look at that. We even have the little tiny detail of the added saws so they can, cut it up and get it squared off and mill it and throw it back into the lake here. This is definitely the direction I want to go with this year and this season of the series. Is I want to make sure I am building huge things. I don't want to do very tiny scale stuff, even though I did do a lot of that in the last season, and we still have some work to do. In fact, let's go ahead and peek over here. I mean, yeah, it looks really cool. We have a lot of buildings and stuff, but I really want to actually go ahead and start working on bigger stuff, bigger buildings, things that add like a story to the village, maybe even add an actual train onto the train tracks. I don't know. We'll see. They're kind of remaining dormant over there, but we have a little road here leading down in that we want to finish later. But for now, let's focus in on this because I need to explain what we have going on in here. And boy, do I have a lot of explaining to do. Well, it's halfway done here. The interior is coming along, and I don't think you expected me to have transitioned to that so early, but I did accidentally lose some footage. I had a bunch of stuff where I was going around showing you what I had built so far and the building itself, and then I lost it. But at least you got to see this before I added some cool stuff. So we got these little nails that go into here and make it more supported. We also have these tapered down little runways here that come off where the logs will be transported up into the building. And then, of course, it's on the other side here as well. And I might as well go ahead and talk about all the other cool stuff that we got going on. So we'll do the outside first. We'll come back to the inside, but we are working on this actively right now. So one of the most important things that you didn't see before that is now here is the water wheel. And I actually had a long little brainstorm going on for this thing that it took me a long time to really figure out how I wanted it to look. And I kind of came up with this idea of having like a little flat top, then it tapers down, but then we have a solid block here, and then it goes flat again with the stairs on the edges. And then on the like little connector pieces here, we have all these trap doors that kind of show that it's made of a different material. And then, of course, it's all connected to the actual main shaft here. And then we have this support thing here holding it down, just using gravity to keep it there. And we're going to work on this a little later from now, but we have something else I want to do over there that I'll get back to in a second. So the roof here, as you can see, is nice and shingled. And I like this design because it actually shows that it's all laid out and interlaced. Then we have all the windows down here with their shutters. Over here, it's kind of the same thing. I guess I could go ahead and use this scaffolding to show you from the outside here. You can see there's a bit of alternating andesite. We got more windows. And this is one of my favorite things over here is the top of this roof has little tiny chimneys. And it's used for getting all the steam and exhaust out of the building. We will be coming back to this, by the way, speaking of steam, because I have some little tanks I want to build, but that'll be later. Now, over here, these are the doors, and I should also mention they are huge. They have these little sliding rails that they go and ride along, as well as on the other side. They're a bit more open over there, and right here, they're kind of closed, but not quite. Over here, we have this nice little pulley system. I almost forgot to mention this, that will pull the logs up on top and then bring them into the actual building itself. We have these nice little windows. We have the back side here, of course. And then let's go ahead and head inside because we got some other things to show off. Now this, I think I mentioned it before. If I didn't, here it is. This is the conveyor belt, and it is actually powered by the water wheel itself. So what this does is it pulls and it rotates this way, rotating this thing, which then counter rotates, and this rotates, I think, going this way. Let me think about this. It took a little bit for my brain to process that, but yeah, this is going this way. So that means whenever there are any products that are cut and finished, it gets put onto here, kind of small little lumber pieces, and then they offload it. And there's going to be more stuff over there for storage. We have a nice little storage rack over here. There'll be a bunch of logs sitting up here. And then I'm going to have, oh yeah, almost forgot to mention, this is the counter force for the conveyor belt. So what happens is is when it's pulling on this, it's kind of pulling this shaft over this way. So it's almost like it's bending it, but then this keeps it from being bent, and it kind of balances the whole thing out. So now we got to go out here, because now that we have completed about half of the interior and pretty much 100% of the exterior, maybe 95%, we have to do something over here, because in the meantime, I also converted all that stone into grass here. And I've also lit it up to make it nice and easy for us to work around this, because we want to do a really nice time lapse of building a bunch of Monterey pine trees. And the Monterey pines, you can find them in my new series or new season on my tree tutorial series. And what it is, it's just like a coastal tree that gets whipped by the wind from the offshore breezes by an ocean. And I guess this is kind of an ocean. It's technically an ocean right over here. I think if I hop in like that, yeah. So that is technically an ocean. So that gives me a reason to build off these cool little trees that I want to have surrounding the area. And we're going to build probably a whole grove here. And I might even sprinkle in some other types of trees that I haven't even released yet. But we'll get back to that later, because we have a time lapse to do right now. And you can hear that music. It's coming in, and we got to get started. And like magic, we are done with our little coastal forest here, or I guess a grove, you could say. But yeah, we're using two different trees. This is from season 1. I believe it is the coastal cypress tree, and I liked to have a lot of variety, so I made a bunch of these in different shapes, different ways. So as you can see, this one's kind of, short. It's kind of spread out, but then there's this one over here, and he's really tall, and he's kind of branching upwards and whatnot. But then there's this guy, this Monterey pine is reaching into the heavens, whereas maybe this guy over here, he's kind of just, slumped down. So is this one over here, probably the smallest one I made. But I kind of had this weird thing going on where I made a lot more of these guys over on this side. Or no, I made a lot more of these guys over here. Yeah. And then if you go over this way, you'll notice we have a bunch more of the coastal cypress trees. And I'm taking a nice little bath here on this little edge. And I think that's just because they're closer to the water. So they're kind of just growing next to the salty air, whereas these ones are higher up. So they get a little more of a buffer from the salt, but they still like to grow in this area. Let's go ahead and do a nice little flyover view. Oh, yes. It looks so good. I love it. We have made so much progress today. Let's see if I can land. Oh, I almost landed on that. I'll get that one day. But yeah, here we go. We've made so much progress on this area here. We started off the episode right over there with this building, and now we have this building, and now we have this forest, and we have one last thing to check on because it's inside here. So before I move at all while I'm in here, I just want to say I did a little bit more work on the interior. Now we have quite a lot of cool stuff. And we'll start off with what we got going on right here. This is, and let me go ahead and make a little platform for myself. I'll explain why that isn't quite the right height in a second, but this is where the logs come in. And they go through this little milling process. It's not exact. It's not really, ooh, I don't want to walk there. It's not like exactly how they have the setup, but it basically just kind of has a bandsaw that goes through here. It rotates around. And then it's powered by this little generator off to the side here. I didn't really have any good idea for how a generator should look, but this is kind of it. It's like a little barrel with like a steam thing going on, and I don't really know. It's just whatever. I just threw stuff together in a creative world, and here's what popped up. But then we have this little pulley system that is connected by this dropper here into here, and then it goes up into here, and then I've added in this beam support for this building on the side, and then it goes up all the way over here, and then to the outside to the crane. And here we go. Yes, so they get chopped up, they get put onto the conveyor belt, and then they get processed into actual lumber to use to build things. But the coolest things are, number one, we have some workers. Hello. And I don't know why they're looking over there. Maybe they're, oh, I know why. They want to have a profession. But I've made these little areas here so I can get in and out, but they can't. And hopefully zombies don't. Plus, I've lit everything up. And a new snapshot, by the way, has come out. Yes, new snapshots are out. A new update is coming out pretty soon. I saw some armor stuff going on, customization and all that. And we are updating to that once that update comes out. And while I am excited for the snapshot and all the custom armor and whatnot and the cool things like the signs, the hanging signs, I am very excited for those. That will definitely help with my ski shop, as I said earlier. We're going to wait until the full update comes out before we actually do anything and convert this world over to that. And I want to make sure also that I have a backup, of course. But anyways, as you know now, we have villagers in here. That's why this platform doesn't go all the way up. So I can't get them to access this area. Oops, I left that there. And then they can't run away from me and scamper off, including this. This will keep them from getting too close to the dangerous little machine we got here. But this is pretty much it for the interior, or at least almost it. We have one last thing to do over here, but it mostly has to do with what's going to go out here on the roof. All right, so going this way over to this wing of the entire sawmill, we have this roof that I want to add some tanks onto. Now the tanks are going to be small, one on each side, and then there's going to be one in the middle that's nice and big. So let's count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe right there we'll build one, and then we'll go over here. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll build one right there. And then right smack in the middle of these two, I think should be right about here. Hello, sir. Do you need help there? Should I call a doctor or like chiropractor? I don't know what to do in this scenario. This is very unfortunate. I do apologize. This isn't covered in my insurance, so good luck and have fun paying all the medical bills, I guess. I'm getting sidetracked. I am working on the tanks, but this is just funny. I don't know why. I want to make this the thumbnail, but at the same time, I don't think that would work too well. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's okay. He's fine. Well, regardless of that little incident, we have now 3 little steam tanks on the side, and this is so perfect. All I have to do now is just connect them into the actual interior of my sawmill. Now, all we got to do with these two is just kind of plug them in like this, going into the actual ceiling there. And then that should come down and just go like that. But there we go. Okay. So that's all done. That's all done. Now we just have to connect these two up on the sides like so. And it just kind of goes like that to the bottom of this barrel because these are like, I don't know, maybe some reserve tanks or something. I don't really understand industry or anything like that. I just copy things. I look at images of things on Google Map or not Google Maps, just Google Images. And I just kind of be like, yeah, that looks cool. And then I look at another image and I'm like, ooh, that looks cool too. At the same time, you don't want to directly copy it because that's kind of stealing. You want to put your own flair on it. You want to change it up and you want to do stuff that is unique to you, but you also want it to kind of represent what you're actually going for. So that's how this was born. And it's almost done now. All we have left to do is kind of give these villagers in here a little task to do. With these last few couple details, I think we are pretty much ready to go and finish off this episode. And let's go ahead and move that guy like so, because then we'll do that, and then we'll put this crafting table on top. I don't usually do that, but now you know what? The crafting table goes on top of the storage now. That's why we're doing it nowadays. Yes, but here we go. We have a nice little furnace set up with the steam things on top, connected down here. And now these guys finally have a purpose in life. Go fulfill, not you. Go fulfill that purpose. Do what you want to do. Oh, and you went for that, and you went for that. Okay. Well, I guess they don't really want to do anything with this, but whatever. I don't care. This guy just wants to leave and go hang out with his llama. You know what? Go ahead, buddy. Come on. Come on out. Okay, but anyways, my name is Uni. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I am very happy with the outcome of what we have built here today, and I gotta find a really good angle to show off what I have, but there's just too much for it, you know? I can't really find a way to do all of this all in one go. But anyways, my name is Uni. Why are they following me? They're standing right behind me. And they keep, oh, now they're tight roping. Anyways, my name is Uni. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time.